Well, well. I'm going to try to make this into a regular, this Sunday morning Cowboys show. The Dallas Cowboys, again, might as well not even show up. Because according to all the pundits, the Cowboys are going to lose the game. I am telling y'all, we are about to see one of the best games of this NFL season tonight. As Michael Parsons comes back to Dallas and the Dallas Cowboys are going to be battling. Mark my words. Let's go. Let's get up. Let's go. The Dallas Cowboys will be battling the Packers. Let's go. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And as you come into this live stream, and yes, we are live at 6:45 Central Time in the United States AM. We are live. As you come into this live, please hit that like button, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know the next time we post another video or go live. And if you haven't come and channel member or subscriber yet, please do. We have a lot of great themes coming up this season. Now let's talk facts. Man, I am so excited about this game. I am so excited. Y'all watch what I tell you. The Cowboys are about to battle these boys. Let me tell you something. I'm truly wondering if the Green Bay Packers took the Cleveland Browns lightly and the Dallas Cowboys took the Bears a little too light, even though the Cowboys had some mishaps. I am telling you now, the Cowboys are ready. I'm telling y'all the Cowboys are ready. As bad as Michael Parsons want to play the Cowboys, the Cowboys want to play Michael Parsons too. You watch what I tell you. You watch what I tell you. Them boys are ready. Them boys are ready. I'm telling you. All right, let me give you the show for this morning. So this morning, we're going to listen to Brian Broaddus, and then we're going to listen to one of the beat writers from Green Bay. Let me tell you something strange about these beat writers. Every time one of these beat writers has said their team is not going to look good against the Cowboys, they look good against the Cowboys. So maybe this beat writer will come out and say the Green Bay Packers gonna look good against Cowboys, and they won't look good against Cowboys. Well, we're gonna see. We're gonna listen to one of the beat writers from 105.3 talk about the Green Bay Packers, and then we're going to go over our game preview that we did a couple of days ago, and I'm gonna add a couple of more points to this. And I'm gonna tell you why all the pressure is on the Green Bay Packers. So that's going to be it. Broaddus, Green Bay Speaks, and the game preview. Now, this will only be right at about an hour. Y'all already know I got to preach the word this morning, but I also got to preach the Cowboys. Let's go. Let's get it. All right, let's get some greetings real quick, real fast. Let's see if we can get these in about 2 minutes. Let's go. Right, appreciate everybody rocking with me this morning. Good morning. Yamar, what's going on? Lord Nova in this thing. My man, the big Robowski. What is going on, Robowski? Cowboys Nation 600 up in here. What's going on, nephew? What's going on? Scarecrow 702, what's going on with you? Appreciate you. Big Down 8604 up in this thing. Mark Davis, what's going on? Dwayne Nickerson, what's going on? He said, Dwayne, he said, G, you convinced me, bro. Man, I'm telling you, this game's gonna be fantastic tonight. You watch what I tell you. JG up in this thing. Jessica Haggerty, what's going on? She said, my Cowboys over Green Bay. I'm with you. Mark Davis, he said, we gonna get that dub tonight, G. Man, I'm telling you, it's right there for the taking. C. Burleson said he cleaning the grill. Perfect timing. Let's go. Brian Worley up in this thing. What's going on? Divine King, he said we want all the smoke. Mark Lozano, what's going on with you? Let's get this thing going this morning. Robert Thomas, let's go. Hey, let me tell you something, Big Robowski. Somebody posted their Madden prediction. I gotta get me a copy of Madden so I can start doing the same thing. The Madden thing with the Cowboys has been right so far. And Madden predicts the Cowboys are beating the Green Bay Packers. The Madden game predicts it. We're gonna see. All right. Let's get this thing going this morning. We are going to go over here and listen to Brian Broaddus. Brian Broaddus is going to give us a quick preview of the Dallas Cowboys. And we'll kind of give our analysis in there too. Let's get this thing going and see what Brian Broaddus is talking about.
Hey, kids! Your old pal Krusty's gonna teach you 5 new words.
You're not wrong about that.
From Dallas, Texas, number 55, Brian Broaddus.
All right, let's get it.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, Estrada. Good morning, hallelujah.
Dawson, Bobby, Chief, appreciate you putting that thing together. Thank you to Reliant as well for being a part of this. All right, guys. This thing ain't all about Micah Parsons, man. They got some ball players on the side of this defense.
Do they now?
I'm with you, Mr. Rasinga. Clowney's going to unlock this defense. I agree.
How well can you handle what
all right,
throw
Traveling Grace,
at you?
hallelujah.
I'm not saying throw at you from a blitz standpoint. I'm just saying, are you ready to play against a defense that will rush 4 and the linebackers do a good job of getting downhill and playing the run? When you talk about Walker and Cooper.
Yeah, he's a big.
What up, Carrot Vince? Appreciate you,
Cooper, man. When they traded Micah, why didn't we get that guy?
It is, yeah. That would have been a nice get.
Kenny Clark's been pretty damn good though. They're their best defensive player. I don't disagree. Get them both.
I kind of feel like though this secondary, it's kind of the no-name group. When you start to really dive in, there's not a
Robert
really
Thomas said he getting the wings
player.
ready for tonight.
Xavier
Yes,
McKinney
sir.
at
Roger,
safety,
what's
I think
going
is
on? Good morning.
Pretty good, but Evan Williams, who plays free safety, I just think he is okay. And I'm not going to sit there and say they're really great at safety, but I will say McKinney does have my respect.
They don't have a lot of work to do often.
Yeah, Nixon and Hobbs are the corners with Bullard as the nickel. And so, yeah,
my guy, Javon Bullard.
And we'll see every once in a while, too. Yeah, you'll see Valentine in there as well, number 20.
That is really one of the strengths of the Green Bay Packers defense is their linebackers. And I thought that the linebackers that we picked up was going to be the strength of our defense. Hasn't quite materialized yet. And I do think one of the issues is they're not playing Maurice Leal-Fowl enough. But where their linebackers are really good is in pass coverage. They're fast. They're fast. The defense has been kind of perfected even before Parsons got there. They play very well in the passing game. So that's one of the places where we got to really improve as our linebacking core, especially getting far enough back in those zones so that they can kind of help in that pass coverage, kind of shallowing up that middle, so our safeties can make sure they play far enough back.
24.
Big Amish, good morning.
It's a secondary. It's really kind of feasted, or really actually, benefited because of how good the front is. And I say the front, I'm talking about their ability to rush the passer. They've got several edges that can rotate. The things that people.
Me too,
have
Mark
done,
Lozano.
Like I
Lozano.
said, Micah didn't play
The basement
as much
boys,
in
what
the
up?
Detroit game opening day, but he did play quite a bit against the Commanders, and he did play quite a bit against the Browns. I think against the Browns he was playing hurt. His back was kind of acting up on him. There were a couple of times where they were chipping him, and sometimes Micah takes some funny hits when they chip him.
Yeah,
and you could tell his back. It was like he was running, and he all of a sudden that just quick stop because somebody hit him, and then it kind of jolts him a little bit.
Get him to take a knee a couple times.
Yeah, he pulled himself out of a couple of, but their pass rush with Gary and Parsons.
I was impressed with Van Ness against
Van
Cleveland.
Ness. Yeah,
Van Ness played really well.
And talking to my guys in Green Bay about Van Ness, they were thinking even before the season, they were thinking that Van Ness. It's kind of that in the media and stuff when it's like, oh, this guy's breakout. This is going to be a breakout guy. This breakout guy. They were really, really talking him up that like he was going to make that jump. I mean, he was a first-round pick in 2023.
I still say this is one of the places the Cowboys made a mistake. I really believe the Cowboys should have not only requested Kenny Clark, the Cowboys should have requested Van Ness. Man, I'm telling you, this dude can play, man. Nobody's saying that he's Michael Parsons, but the dude can play. I wish the Cowboys would have got Van Ness.
And they've kind of been waiting for him to do that, but everybody in Green Bay thought this would be the year, and then boom, what do? They go trade for Micah Parsons. So now they've got some legitimate, the pass rush guys to do.
He
that.
looks the part.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
really
Rashawn Gary has benefited the most. I think Gary's got 4.5 sacks right now.
Yeah, Gary's a very explosive player, and when it's, when we watch. When we watch these players, that the way that they come off the ball, and it's like they gain so much ground on that first step.
Yeah.
So like he's on the corner, and then he's working to get around.
Making it so tough to get hands on him.
Oh no,
linemen.
It's crazy. The really good pass rushers have that ability to gain a lot of ground and get right on that blocker and get to the corner, and then either dip it or just push you back. And Gary's got that. He's got that explosive step. Him, Parsons, we all know about Parsons and stuff like that. I'm interested to see what happens with Wyatt, the defensive tackle. He's a little bit nicked up right now. So their defensive tackle, him and Carl Brooks are the two inside guys. And I feel like they're pretty good players, but it's the ends, it's the linebackers, and it's really the one safety. You're going to get. I mentioned about the cloud coverage. Talking about cloud, it's that look where you kind of you can play too deep out of it, and then you play the corner back and the safety down, and so keep an eye on that. Sometimes Dak loses track of where guys are. They're going to try and fool him with this cloud coverage, which they play about 36% of the time.
Dak is not going to be worried about that cloud coverage because they're going to be running the ball. They're going to try to run them out of that cloud coverage is what they're going to try to do.
You can see it on tape where usually the corners the corners got that he's playing short and then the safety's playing back. Well, the cloud they flip it to try and make you give it just a little bit of a different look. You're going to get zone about 80% of the time against these guys. They're going to play a lot of cover 3. That's really that's the single high with the two corners. 4-man rush is really what is their biggest thing, and they're going to blitz. Their big blitz down when they do blitz is going to be the third down. That's
Dak should eat on single high, for sure. He should be able to eat on single high safety.
Right around 32% is what the metrics say there. So that's kind of where their defense is at. The running aspect of this defense, like I say, I'm going to do things to try and take the ball at Micah Parsons in this one.
No doubt.
And Dawson, like we talked about yesterday, when he's the backside, I'm going to try my best to be able to kind of try and take him out of the game with blocks, just continually chip him during the game. Whether it's the ball, if you're going away from him, put a guy on him. If it's at him, put a guy out on him. Just make him have to defend blocks the whole day. I'd hit him high.
Great point.
I'd hit him down low. I'd try and cut him, make him play with his hands down. That will slow him up a little bit. We've seen some teams do that to him before, where he'll come around the end and then they try and cut him. And now he's very mindful of like, oh, wait a minute. I could get, if I come flying around that corner, I could get cut by somebody. So I would make sure that I do stuff like that in this football.
A lot of
game.
span forward on him. Maybe even some Hunter Lipke making his money.
I would absolutely.
Yep, I said the same thing.
To me, if you take the ball at him, it's try tied in with the tackle, try and push him, and then make him have to come off with his sore back. Make him have to come off and try and reach a block as he's reach for a tackle as he's playing the block. Might be a way to kind of get him out of there. But like I say, they're the 30th ranked team in the NFL with rushing attempts against them. They get teams that get behind in games and they just have to throw the football. I'll be interested to see if Dallas could be able to handle this. But
Cowboys not
going to
do that
in the league. Matter of fact, not one of the best. They are the best in the league when it comes to successful runs. I mentioned they're right about 24%, which is it's first. Their run steps are right around 18%. Those are plays at the line of scrimmage or negative plays. And then when you're trying to run outside against these guys, it's been kind of a trouble because teams have run the ball 34 times against them for only 134 yards.
Yeah, watching Cleveland, Judkins, it was the interior runs.
It was.
Yes, I said the same thing. It's just run on the interior. We already know they got the speed. Run on the interior. The Cowboys should be able to run on the interior of this defensive line. Just run on them. Just run it right up the gut.
The interior runs.
They seem to have the most success with.
Yeah. So that's kind of where they're at, and then now you have to kind of figure out, when we talked about this yesterday, where do you want Micah Parsons to rush from? If you're the Cowboys, how do you try and set things up to maybe make him have to, can you make sure he's on the outside? Does that help you, or do you want to make sure he's on the inside? But you're going to have a plan for him.
He's going to come from everywhere.
You're going to have to drag him off this field in this football game. But I did notice, like I say, the back was bothering him in that Cleveland game, and it was because they kept hitting him and hitting him and hitting him.
Well, that's your opportunity right there, I think, is to run at him. Let me ask you this. Would the Cowboys be interested in running at him so much that depending on where he's lined up, they could change the running plays, flipping a running play? Because you're going to have to run this team, I believe, if you're going to have success on them and set it up for play action passing, because like you mentioned, they have guys whose names I think are foreign to the average Cowboys fan who will be in Dak's face.
Yeah, that's the thing that I would try and set up is if you could get some running game going. But the problem with this, it does kill clock, but man, you can't kick field goals.
I said the same thing.
If you could tell me your defense could get 1 or 2 stops a half, if you get maybe 2 stops, 3 stops, make them punt at least 3 times, that's kind of your path for victory. The teams that Dallas has had trouble with are the ones that have been able to score basically on every possession.
No field goals.
Near every possession, and now they're having to chase it. It takes them out of that running game stuff.
I mean, I know we have to consider it, but with a compromised offensive line, Jordan Love with Reed out, they should not have the weapons to light you up. If they're going to go out there and light you up and you're worried about kicking a field goal on one possession, so you got to go for it on 4th and 6 because you're terrified of them holding the ball, just pack it up and go home.
I would play, if I'm shoddy, I kind of coach this game differently. I'm more interested in maybe taking a Dan Campbell approach.
Yeah.
Now their defense I think is good. Their offense, as you mentioned, Dawson lacks some weapons right now.
They don't have the firepower.
I do worry about the tight ends, but maybe it's one of those things where you Dan Campbell this thing up and just try your best to keep going for it on 4th down and just try and hold the ball as long as you can and finish drive with some points.
And Zach Tom, his backup, Anthony Belton, and then Aaron Banks again.
They're struggling
today.
They're struggling, and that's the problem that they have. Their offensive line is really beat up.
Their old line is.
You have the pass rushers to be able to affect the way that they play. I think Matt Eberflus. I said it earlier. I think Matt Eberflus is going to have to maybe do some things that he's uncomfortable with. The man coverage stuff. I think he's going to have to blitz more. I think he's going to have to because you could affect Jordan Love in the pocket. There'll be some poor throws.
You're not going to be a bend but don't break defense anytime soon.
I don't think so.
No, we breaking.
We saying how much of a difference could he have made against Chicago? A lot, man. Just bringing my energy, my effort out there. I think that's going to be enough for me. Just let my play do the talking. I mean, you have to hope that Clowney, Bland, and Diggs, and then lessons learned from Giants and Bears. Just evaluate that. The new guys coming in with Bland rejoining the secondary and Jadeveon Clowney.
Going to help tremendously.
We don't
18% of your starting lineup.
Yeah, we don't know about with Clowney what you expect. You would hope that he could come in and give you something against a couple of tackles that really have struggled. But that's you need that, but I think you're going to need this secondary. To me personally, I'm not really interested in taking Stewart off the field at the nickel. I'm more likely to keep Stewart at nickel and let Bland and Diggs play on the outside. And then we always talked about maybe using Elam in a way of maybe using him against Tucker Kraft, the tight end. Maybe put a bigger corner on Tucker Kraft and try and limit the number of passes he sees.
I mean, injuries are a big part of this equation already, just 3 games in. Krusty's Corner brought to you by Reliant Air Conditioning, gimmick-free AC repair and replacement. He previewed the Packers' offense for you yesterday. That was at 3:40 if you want to go back and watch with the Odyssey app or YouTube or whatever it is. But Cowboys Wire today, let me see if I can. This was Katie Drummond. 10 players the Cowboys are desperately waiting to return to the field. I know in the offseason I had the most unwelcome explanation for Cowboys' failure, and it was that they're basically leading the league and losing all pros and Pro Bowlers to injury over the last 4 years. I don't even know how you begin to try to fix this. Obviously, there's that annual player survey that doesn't rank their training staff very high, but I think that comes down to personnel. They did a really nice job from about 2015 to 2020 limiting the injuries, and I know they did it, through the draft. It was kind of a personnel thing. But listen to this. How much would Josh Butler help? I think quite a bit. Kalen Carson, I'm not sure.
No. He's not as good as we thought he was right now.
Jonathan Mingo would help you in the running game. And
Mingo would help.
This is the top 7 guys missing. Siobhan Revel, rookie corner. I think he would help, but it's hard to know for sure. Cooper Beebe is out. Perry and Winfrey, DeMarvion Overshone, Tyler Booker, Deron Bland, and CeeDee Lamb. I just think as much as coaches love to say next man up, the deck is stacked significantly.
Wow.
It's a lot. And I'm not giving up hope. I think it's interesting that the line went up to 7.5 some books. I saw it today on BetOnline back at 6.5. I think that Cleveland loss exposed quite a bit about the Packers. They look like a runaway freight train, but now that plus the injuries, maybe the injury to Reed at wide receiver, their leading receiver from 2024, is going to make them at least beatable if you can get some stops.
I'm telling you, the Cowboys have a great chance of beating the Green Bay Packers. Straight up, they have a great chance of beating Green Bay Packers. We're going to listen to this last thing from the beat writer over at Green Bay. Then we'll get into our last 30 minutes of going back over kind of what we went over the other day and kind of elaborating on that as far as what the Cowboys need to do. Let me read this super chat real quick. Appreciate JG. Appreciate you on this Sunday morning. JG, he said, appreciate your hard work, G. Thanks for never leaving us hanging with the content, brother. Yes, sir. I appreciate you. Appreciate the support. I'm doing it for the Cowboy fans, no doubt about it. I appreciate it. Man, because I tell you, we definitely need encouragement. I mean, right now we're so beat up at times and so negative at times that we don't even want to see any of the possibilities of how we could win a game. And again, I think this game, the Cowboys, whether we realize it or not, man, this game is so winnable for the Cowboys. It is literally insane how winnable this game is. Even though we don't have the defense of the Cleveland Browns. Bland is back. Clowney is here. If Matt Eberflus will make these changes that they've been talking about, and this communication is better, I'm telling us, our offense is way better than the Cleveland Browns. And if the Cleveland Browns were able to score 10 points, 13, got a blocked field goal, if the Cleveland Browns can score 13 points, surely we can score 13 points. Surely. I believe we can easily score 27 on this team. We can score 27 points on this team. Easy. I know Lamb's not here, but the Cowboys still got weapons in Turpin, George Pickens. We're still waiting to see if Jaden Blue plays tonight. We don't even know. All right, we're going to listen to Green Bay Speaks, and then we're going to get back in our game preview.
Let's jump out of the D&M Leasing Hotline and welcome to the program. from the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy show over there on ESPN Milwaukee, the morning show. Mr. Gabe Neitzel and Gabe, are y'all as geeked in Green Bay for this game on Sunday, or as melancholy as the folks here in Dallas are for Sunday night's performance?
Yeah, look, I think everybody's geeked just because, A, Micah Parsons and the opportunity to watch him on the field on Sundays has been a pleasure through the first 3 weeks. And B, I think everybody's excited because, well, the Packers offense wasn't very good, and that Dallas defense the last couple of weeks has made some guys look pretty good, from Russell Wilson to Caleb Williams. So I think it's it's twofold in terms of the excitement up here in Wisconsin for the game on Sunday.
Pleasure having you on. What do you think would be the Packers' defensive game plan with this Cowboys offense looking a little different than it did in Week 1? No CeeDee Lamb. I don't think anyone outside of Javonte Williams' family expected him to be good as he's been this year.
And Fred Davis.
Is it going to be stopping the run game? Is it still the threat of Dak and George Pickens and Jake Ferguson? What do you think is kind of their mindset going into this matchup?
Yeah, I think it's going to be stopping that run first, just because they feel pretty good about their ability to get after the quarterback, even if they only rush 4. I mean, we've seen it through the first 3 weeks.
Even though the Cowboys don't have BB and Booker, I don't think Green Bay is going to be able to stop Dallas from running. I do not think they're going to be able to stop the Cowboys from running. This dude, Javonte Williams, is running, man. This is the perfect game for a running back like him. Man, this dude is a batter ram. I don't think they're going to be able to stop the Cowboys' run game. And if the Cowboys can get that run game going, which I think they will, they're gonna get some shots off play action. And like I said, we'll talk about this in the next segment. But this game, the Cowboys have got to get that run game going. They have got to get that run game going. They get that run game going, which I think they will. They're going to be A-okay.
Last week, in the loss to Cleveland, the Packers are able to generate pressure because, as you guys know, teams have to account for Micah Parsons. There was one of the sacks last week that Rashawn Gary, who currently leads the league in sacks, went completely unblocked. The Browns were so concerned about what Micah might do, they just decided to let Rashawn Gary run free, and he was able to get to Joe Flacco.
That's the mistake the Cowboys can't make right there.
So with the way they've been able to generate pressure with Micah Parsons, I feel like their focus is, hey, let's make sure we stop the run, because we're going to be able to generate pressure, and, whoever we have on the back end, whether it's Keyshawn Nixon, who's played really well, or Carrington Valentine, a 7th-round pick from a couple of years ago for the Packers, they feel comfortable in that they're going to be able to defend and cover for as long as they have to, which isn't very long with the way the Packers are able to get after QBs.
I just want an outsider's POV on this, and I urge you to be as candid as possible with this. George Pickens being the wide receiver 1 for the Cowboys right now with CeeDee Lamb sideline. Are teams still, afraid of George Pickens, see him as a field bender, see him as a game breaker, or do they see him as a wide receiver 2 that's just stepping into a wide receiver 1 role?
He's a wide receiver 2 stepping into a wide receiver 1 role, but the one thing that Pickens has is the speed. Like, you always have to respect that speed. And, I think the Packers have had, kind of defenses looked at them similarly in years past.
Wow. Okay.
With Christian Watson, who's hurt right now and still coming back from his ACL, so he won't be on the field, on Sunday. But I think teams have kind of looked at Christian Watson similarly. He's probably not a wide receiver 1, but the game-breaking speed is always something that you have to respect and maybe keep an eye on. And obviously, it's a little bit easier to keep an eye on and maybe have some safeties kind of peek over at where George Pickens is when CeeDee Lamb's also not on the field. But that's the one thing I would say everybody has to respect with George Pickens is that speed that he has.
Gabe Neitzel, ESPN Milwaukee, joining us here talking all things Green Bay, Dallas on Sunday. Jordan Love, I'm depending upon who you talk to, you either love him or hate him. I don't know that there's any in between with Jordan Love. And, through the first 2 weeks, all the Jordan Love, supporters like, hey, see, this is the guy we told you could be a Super Bowl quarterback. And then all the Jordan Love detractors and haters came out after the Cleveland game and said, see, this is why you'll never win a Super Bowl with Jordan Love. Where are you at on this complicated relationship? And kind of how is this offense with Jordan Love coming off of now what you guys have had 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks?
Yeah, and look, I think the Packers fans relationship is kind of the same way. It seems like people love him or hate him, and more people are on the side of believing in Jordan Love, I would say, up here, but there's still some of those that have their doubts, and a game like Sunday certainly doesn't help. And look, I don't want to make excuses for Jordan. The Packers' offensive line on Sunday was awful. It was terrible. Did not give him any chance, and I think that's kind of what led to the crucial interception that he threw. That's a play where the line actually did a pretty good job of protecting him. If he holds on to the ball just a half beat longer, I think he sees, the defender who ended up making the interception and Delpit there, and he's able to throw it to his tight end, Tucker Kraft, the guy that Delpit had kind of abandoned to make that interception. It was a great play, but Jordan kind of felt like he had to get rid of the football, and that's the one thing he has to clean up. I think Jordan can be a really good quarterback. I think he could be one you can win a Super Bowl with, but he has a propensity to have some confusing throws, some confusing turnovers. There was a throw he made against the Lions that nobody notices other than us up here in Green Bay. He just kind of lobbed it out in the flat. I don't know if he was trying to throw it away. The only possible player who could have caught it was a member of the Detroit Lions, and Anzalone, one of the linebackers, who fortunately dropped it for Jordan, and his interception list streak was able to continue. But there seemed to be, some issues with him once or twice a game, kind of making confusing throws where you're like, wait, things are going pretty well. What just happened? How did this just happen? And if he cleans that up, this Packers offense can fully realize the potential that they have. If he doesn't, that's going to be something that kind of holds them back, because I feel with Micah Parsons right now, they have a championship level defense, and that's up here in Green Bay. A championship level defense is something we haven't had in forever, and the offense was always, ahead of the defense when we had Aaron Rodgers. But right now, Jordan Love has to raise his level of play if the Packers do want to be a Super Bowl contender and champion.
The Packers are bottom 5 in pass attempts per game at 26. The Dallas Cowboys are number 1 in the league at pass attempts per game at 43.7. Who do you see bending their game plan more to match the game flow as far as not passing the ball or passing the ball more?
Dallas?
I think it's going to be the Packers, because they want to run the football. It's a pivot they made last year when Jordan got hurt, and they had to go to Malik Willis, their backup quarterback. They started running the ball a ton, and they had acquired Josh Jacobs last year, who can be that bell cow, and they were a team that ran the ball 52% of the time last year, and I think that's something they wanted to do. But right now, Josh Jacobs is off to a rough start. It's a combination of him,
they've been
it's
struggling.
a combination of the line. There's a next-gen stats, rushing yards over expected, which kind of, factors in how well your offensive line is playing, and it just kind of tries to isolate the running back. And right now, he's dead last among starting running backs with Josh Jacobs. So they certainly want to get him going.
Offensive line is banged up.
If their offensive line is beat up and he's not running the ball that efficiently, I'm thinking Matt LaFleur might try to take advantage of that Dallas secondary that other quarterbacks have been able to take advantage of, whether it was, again, Russell Wilson 2 weeks ago or it was Caleb Williams last week. I would expect the Packers to try to air it out, get Tucker Kraft, their talented tight end,
they're not going to be able to run
against the Commanders involved, and maybe get their number 1 pick in Matthew Golden out of Texas, get him really going and kind of have his first big game in the NFL.
All right, that's good stuff right there.
All right, we're going to kind of stop it right there. Kind of heard what I need to hear about the Green Bay Packers. I want to finish the rest of this out with the Cowboys. I'm telling us, man, the Cowboys have a great chance at winning this game today. Again, I think what threw the Cowboys off last week, I think what threw them off, one, Javonte Williams fumble. Then the Cowboys could have overcame that, but then CeeDee Lamb gets hurt. So you add those two things in. CeeDee Lamb gets hurt on the second drive. They fumble on the first drive. I mean, you want to talk about an absolute game wrecker. I mean, that'll change, man. That'll change your entire. That'll change everything. That'll change your entire game plan. All right, let's read some. Let me read some super chats, and then we're gonna go to offensive keys and get some scores. You guys gonna tell me some scores. I'll read some comments, and then we'll get out of here this morning. But I'm telling you, Cowboys gonna be okay today. Mark Davis, appreciate that $5 super chat. Yes, sir. Randy Cadell, appreciate that super chat. He said my prediction, 27-19. 27-19. Okay, 27-19. You got the boys winning, Randy? Cowboys winning or losing? Yeah, Rombowski, I saw that. He said Judkins laid a huge hit on Micah. while the left tackle had already engaged with Michael with a block. It was an early warning sign. We're about to run the rock your way all day long. And that's what the Cowboys are going to do too. DC 1282, he says no change, just get out of the game injury free and admit trading Michael was the dumbest move. Don't think so. And I think, matter of fact, today we're going to see the benefit of both of these players. I think we're going to see the benefit of Kenny Clark because I don't think the Green Bay Packers are going to be able to run the ball. I just don't think they're going to be able to run the ball. And they're going to resort to the air. But understand this. The New York Giants, super stud wide receivers. In particular, Malik Neighbors. Chicago Bears, super stud. Why do we not realize the wide receivers that the Chicago Bears are rocking with, man? Man, these boys are rocking with this dude. What's his name? Adunze. They're rocking with Luther Burden III. They're rocking with DJ Moore. Man, that doggone Chicago Bears offense is loaded with wide receivers. Meanwhile, Green Bay, their biggest weapon on offense right now is that tight end craft. That's their biggest weapon. That's what the Cowboys have got to be concerned with. But their wide receivers, man, there's no way if those wide receivers come in here and torch the Cowboys, they better cut Malik Hooker. They better cut Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker immediately mid-game. The only one they have is Matthew Golden. He's a speedster, and he hasn't broke out yet. Matthew Golden hasn't broke out yet. We'll see if he breaks out against the Cowboys, but it shouldn't be a problem. If this safety play gets corrected, I don't think it'll be a problem. Basement boys, you saying the same thing I'm saying. Run the ball 35 to 40 times with 3 backs. Williams, Sanders first half, Blue and Williams in the second half. I'm telling you, I'm the same way. They got to run the ball. Randy Cadell. Yes, sir. Randy Cadell, he said we're going to win it. I feel like we're going to win it too, Randy. I really do. Jackie Moon, he said, bro, I effing hope we can. Jackie, we're going to have a great chance, man. We're going to have a great chance. We're going to be able to run the ball, I believe. But the part that no one is talking about, man, their offensive line is banged up even more than the Bears' offensive line was. And where they're banged up is exactly where Oso Digizua and Kenny Clark plays. Man, I'm telling y'all, the player that people are underestimating in this game, the player they're underestimating is Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark is going to ball this entire game. I'm laughing. Everybody keep talking. Yeah, man, they're gonna have to drag Michael Parsons off the field today. What about Kenny Clark? So we think this is just we really think this is a regular game for Kenny Clark? Shoot. If you think this is a regular game for Kenny Clark, man, you ain't paying attention. This dude is going to ball. Kenny Clark balling. Kenny Clark balling. I'm telling you, man, if Kenny Clark don't get a sack, I think he gets 2 sacks. I'll be shocked if Kenny Clark don't get a sack today. Man, I'm thinking Kenny Clark either 1 to 2 sacks, 5 or 6 quarterback pressures, 5 or 6 tackles today. Kenny Clark may very well be the MVP of this game. This dude's going to be balling, man. This dude's going to ball today. You watch what I tell you. Robert Thomas says, Nick Sorensen needs to dial up some trick plays today. Fake punt, something. Man, let me tell you something. I think Brian Schottenheimer needs to dial up some fake plays. You're going to have to do everything you can do. This is one of them games. And I'm telling you now, they can tell me anything they want to. Jerry Jones wants this game. I'm not buying none of this talk. These guys want to beat Micah. They do. Yeah, Yamar, run at Micah. Straight up. Straight up. Hey, Big Rumbowski said running the ball is a good strategy, especially attacking Michael with it being his weakness. But to do so, you need to lead. They got to get that lead. And I'm not sure I got much faith in the defense to hold on to a lead. Watch this, though. The Cowboys got to be very smart at how they approach the Green Bay Packers. Don't run on first down. And the reason why I say don't run on first down, if you look at the Cowboys stats, they have not been successful on first down. And I got a feeling Green Bay will be expecting the Cowboys to run a lot on first down. So rather than the Cowboys running on first down, these little short passes to Jake Ferguson have been very effective. Use Jake Ferguson in the run game. Use Jake Ferguson in the run game. Hit Jake Ferguson for 3 or 4 yards short, then you run on second down. Keep yourself in third and short. Keep yourself in 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2s. Fix it to where, keep yourself in a situation that if you want to run the ball on 3rd down, you can. Keep yourself in a situation to where you say, okay, we get beyond the 50. It's 2 down territory. Keep yourself in situations to where you can control the clock and have a lot of ball control. Stay patient with that. And then you have in your mind, the Cowboys got to have in their mind about 6 to 8 times that they're going to take some shots. But they're going to have to be very patient, and they're going to have to set those up. Almost like a comedian sets up his joke. You know, a comedian will give you something in the beginning, and then he'll end the show with that kind of brings that joke full circle. The Cowboys will have to run, set that play action up so that they can get it when they want it. And if they can get that play action rocking, and Dak Prescott only throw the ball about 25 times, hey, man, the Cowboys are going to be on to something. All right, let's kind of go back over our offensive keys again. Again, let's kind of do a little bit of elaborating on this as we talk. The basement boys, he's with me. He said the Cowboys need to run 35 to 40 times. Yeah, I'm saying run the ball 35 times at least. At the least, run this ball 35 times. John Long said I'm the John Long said I'm delusional. John said I'm delusional. Now, I'm telling you, John, if the Cowboys just do what I'm saying, and they have got to be smarter than me in this. Cowboys do what I'm saying, they're going to win this game. They're going to win this game. Timmy Terry, he said every team's struggling until they play the Cowboys. You watch what I tell you. John Long said no chance. John Long, I hope the Green Bay Packers think that too. I hope the Green Bay Packers think the same thing, because I'm telling you this. Kenny Clark going to have something to say about this today. You watch what I tell you. Kenny Clark's going to have something to say about this. So let's get to our keys again. Y'all chime in the comments. Big Robowski, Dan Campbell approach. Man, he said, would that be eating Green Bay's kneecaps out? Big Robowski, nah, I didn't get that. I saw that. I don't know about the going for it on 4th down. I don't know if I want to make a living doing that. But what I do say they need to do is make sure that they keep themselves in 3rd and short so that they can continue to throw those short passes, or they can run the ball on 3rd down sometimes. Mark Davis, I agree with you. I think Jadeveon Clowney is going to give us some pressure today. I really do. All right. So again, the Cowboys get established to run 35 times, at least 35 times. Start fast on offense and defense. They did it last week, but they fumbled it away. They need to get some 3 and outs. They got to get some quarterback pressure. Get Pickens involved early. The Cowboys have really got to figure out a way. I would be using Pickens in the short game too. If the Cowboys will use Pickens in the short game, they can set him up for the long game. And I like my chances. If the Green Bay Packers play single high safety, bait the corner on some short passes, make him play up, do a double move on him, get Pickens against the safety, and I'm gonna take my chances and throw it up. Again, this has got to be a huge game for Jalen Tolbert. We need the Pittsburgh Steelers game from last year from Jalen Tolbert. Tolbert needs a big game. Ferguson, I just realized I misspelled Ferguson. Ferguson just needs to just do what Ferguson's been doing, but I do wish he would get some yards after the catch today. He's got to correct that. 3.7 yards after the catch per catch is insanity to me. Cavante Turpin. The Cowboys have got to find a way to get Cavante Turpin in space, get this guy some pick plays. They got to figure out a way to get this guy in the open field because they're not going to let him do much in the kicking game. Again, long drives, time of possession, no turnovers, protect Dak Prescott. Now, the Cowboys do have to be careful. The Cowboys don't want to make the mistake that the Cleveland Browns made, that you start trying to protect Dak Prescott from Michael Parsons so much that you leave him open to everything else. So that's a very good point they made on that. So the Cowboys are going to have to definitely be careful with that. All right. Let's get to let's go to some more offensive keys. Now, somebody tell me if you heard, but I've heard nothing on whether or not Jaden Blue is playing. I've heard absolutely nothing. I don't know I don't know if he's playing or not, but I've heard nothing on Jaden Blue. Absolutely nothing. Y'all tell me if you know anything. Curtis P. He said, I think I'm wearing my jersey to church this morning. Yes, sir. Boy, I feel you. Jakira, 34-27 Cowboys. Yeah, Dominique, bless the Most High. Bless to Eugene in the chat. Happy Sunday. You too. Bless your family, Dominique. God bless. Robert Thomas says, Des, tonight we be eating up some Cheeto. Tonight we be eating up some cheese, bro. Yeah, we're gonna be ready to go. We're gonna be ready to go. Lost in translation, 1000% agree with you. We need a bunch of motion. I said this last week. I thought the Cowboys should have ran about 60% motion, 60 to 70%, and I think they need to do the same thing today with Pickens. They have got to make sure they don't let them just get in front of Pickens. They got to get this dude on the run. They got to get Cavante Turpin some pick plays, get him in space, all of those things. Again, run the ball, run Blue 15 to 20 times. I'm not sure if he's playing. Run Javonte Williams 20 to 25 times. I do believe they have to run Javonte Williams 25 times. This will be Javonte Williams' 100-yard game. Similar to how Rico Dowdle broke out against the Pittsburgh Steelers when nobody gave us a chance last year. Javonte Williams need to have a 100-yard game plus today. Hunter Lipke, again, Brian Schottenheimer kind of alluded to he'll have about 20 snaps. I'm hoping he's playing fullback. Again, minimal penalties, no turnovers. Know where Michael Parsons is, but don't try to look at him so much that you let Rashawn Gray and these other guys get at Dak Prescott. Win the time of possession, score touchdowns. This is going to be vital for the Cowboys. Score touchdowns. Des says, shaking my head. He said, I can't wait to come back here and hear the same song and get it again. Hey, Des, hey, come back tonight because we're going to talk about did they do it. We'll talk about it tonight like we always do. But, Des, you're going to be pleasantly surprised. Cowboys are going to ball tonight. You watch what I tell you. Cowboys get Jaden Blue in the passing game. George Pickens deep shots. I'm telling you, I don't really know. I think the Cowboys, this is the one wrinkle I think they're trying to keep up under wraps is Jaden Blue. Because I haven't heard if he's playing or not playing. So if somebody know, let me know. But I think he's playing. Yeah, Douglas Harrison said, I think Blue is playing tonight. I do too. I think Jaden Blue is playing tonight. And I'm telling you, this dude can absolutely play in the passing game. For sure. He can play in the passing game. What's going on, Stephen White? Yeah, blocking chip. Let me tell you something. If Michael Parsons is truly having back issues, he would definitely have back issues tonight. Because I'm telling you, I'm assigning somebody to him every single play. Every single play, I want somebody blocking him. DJ Mixology J, boy, I like this too. Run no huddle periodically through the game. I like that too. Yes, sir. I like that because Dak Prescott can go nuts on you when you let him just kind of do his thing. Hey, Robert Thomas. I think they should have John Gruden and Michael Irvin come in and hype him up in the locker room. Chevelle, call all the 72 Chevelle. He said, haven't heard about Blue, but heard from Broadus with Clowney. Heard from Broadus with Clowney playing Houston will be inactive. What? Come on, man. James Houston inactive? That is nuts. That is nothing but the Cowboys paying Dante Fowler and wanting Sam Williams to do this, that, or the other. Oh, come on, man. That's pitiful, man. Uncle Charles, what's going on? Man, that's pitiful, boy. That's pitiful. Lost in translation said, I need Ferguson to get past the sticks if he's not going to give us yet. Man, for sure. For sure. Dominique Pittman said they're usually pretty quick to say when someone is out, so it's possible he could play. Yeah, I think he's playing. But this thing with James Houston is nuts. JG, I'm with you. No, that's nuts, man. That is absolutely nuts. Lil D said, is Usain Bolt available? Yeah, we need everybody tonight. Stephen White, Fowler should be out. Man, no doubt. They're not going to put Fowler out because he's getting paid all the money. And they're not going to put Sam Williams out because I think they're afraid of his feelings. Nah, man, that's crazy, James Houston being out. Messenger 526 says everybody has a game plan, but Jerry's plan is the only plan. Man, that is crazy to me. The Big Rabowski said at least we'll know early if Blue and Houston are inactives. Then Shotty and Flus are up to the same old clown ways like the first 3 weeks. Man, that is crazy to me, bro. I'm telling you right now, this dude on your screen is the key. Will he be willing to make adjustments until the Cowboys get him the players that he quote unquote wants? But this defense is going to be key. They got to get us some 3 and outs. They got to spy Jordan Love, get some turnovers, increase the blitzing, make these personnel changes and adjust early. Man, that is crazy to me, Jakira. No James Houston. Boy, that makes me mad. Big Mace up in this thing. What up, Big Mace? He said, man, it's so good to be back with Cowboys Nation. What up, G? We winning tonight. Yes, sir. Big Mace, we winning this thing tonight, man. I'm excited. Lost in translation said, I would love to see a blitz every now and then. No, I don't want to see it every now and then. They need to go from 18% blitzing to 30% blitzing. They're like almost dead last in the league. I think it's somewhere around 18.27, something like that. 18%? Man, even teams with good pass rushers are blitzing more than us. He got to turn it up. And I say he got to turn it up to 30%. Hey, let me tell you something. Still, you said Guyton tonight and still a suspect. Not running the ball, though. If they run the ball, Basil, they'll be better. Run the ball. Run the ball. And then if you run the ball, then when you do that play action, you freeze everybody. You give those linemen a little bit more chance to block. You give them a little bit more chance to block. And I think we'll be okay. DJ Mixology, he said if Trayvon Diggs gives up another touchdown with separation of 5 feet, bench his butt. Yes, sir. Well, I do think one of the things they're going to do, they are going to I think they're going to let Kyer Elam and Trayvon Diggs share that outside. So I think the Cowboys will be okay. Glenn, I hope, stays outside. Stewart Reddy stays inside. I think the Cowboys will be good to go. Yeah. Stephen White, Marquise Bell is a better linebacker than Sanborn. Is that Sanborn or is that Murray? They need to have Maurice Learfowl. I want to see some of this stuff tonight. Just Lee, he said move it up to 40% on the blitzing. I'm with you. All right. Now I'm disappointed Sam Williams, it looks like Sam Williams and Dante Fowler is going to be playing again. Kyrie Elam, well, will give way to Deron Bland. I hope Maurice Leofow, Damone Clark gives away to Leofow. Marquise Bell and Wanye Thomas. I'm hoping we see them today. I don't think the Cowboys have enough guts, and I think this is where we are. I don't think the Cowboys have enough guts to put them on the bench. But, man, that thing with James Houston has really upset me. Boy, that's upset me, man. Golly. How could the Cowboys do that? Hey, Big Mace, Stuart Reddy has played well. Lost in translation, they could have sat Sanborn. They're playing favorites. Sanborn, that's Matty Bafus's guy, so they're not going to do it. Derek Woods, Green Bay can play their second string tonight and win. Boy, stop it. Derek Woods, you're going to be eating crow tonight, bro. You're going to be eating crow tonight. You watch what I tell you. But again, I think the Green Bay Packers are going to move Michael Parsons around. So the Cowboys are probably not going to be able to run at him as much as they would want to. But I think they're going to move him around. I do think Matt LaFleur is going to try and test out to see if he can run the ball. And if he can't run the ball, then he's going to go banana bonkers, or at least he's going to try to. Green Bay will use their tight ends extensively. I think that's where we are. But I'm calling this tonight. I'm calling it. The Cowboys are going to run for $150 or more. Cowboys going to run for $150 or more. Kenny Clark will be a monster. 2 sacks. I think he's going to get 2 sacks tonight. Clowney will make an immediate impact. I'm not saying he's going to get a sack. But I think Jadeveon Clowney is going to make an impact. And I say Dak and Pickens will connect today. So this is my score. I got the Cowboys 31-17. Yeah, Clowney's going to draw attention, Messenger 526. I agree. Lord Nova said, I don't care about feelings. If you're making positive plays, you're playing. Yeah, the Cowboys got me a little bit, Boy, they got me a little bit, Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Okay, wait a minute. Jakira, hold on. Jakira said Houston is playing tonight. Yes, sir. Jakira, boy, you about to have me in my feelings. Okay, Jakira, is Jaden Blue playing? Let me check here. Cowboys keep this depth chart very close to the vest, man. Very close to the vest. All right, I'm trying to find it again. Okay, so blogging the boys. Don't see anything on the depth chart. Yeah, the Cowboys keep this depth chart very close to the vest, man, when it comes to who they're gonna play every game. So I do think Jaden Blue is playing tonight. I think you have to play him tonight. I don't think there's no other alternative. But I'm gonna tell you where I got it. I got the Cowboys 31-17. Cowboys 31-17. If it falls apart, I always do 2 scores. If everything goes the way I think it'll go, I think Cowboys 31, Packers 17. If not, it'll be Packers 24, Cowboys 13. That's kind of where I am. Mark Davis, he said he got the Cowboys 24-17. Okay, Jakira is back again. He said, okay, not active. Who? Jaden Blue or James Houston? Lost in translation. 75% of the run should be behind Guyton and Smith. Yeah, nobody can stop us on that end. Yes, sir. Messenger said everyone is writing them off, and that's why they're going to ball out tonight. I believe so, too. I believe they're balling out tonight. I do. Hey, man, let me tell you something. I understand why the Cowboys moved up Jalen Cropper. Y'all do know that Jalen Cropper, this dude, man, at least every single preseason, This dude Cropper, man. This dude Cropper kind of balls out every preseason and then he disappears. Big Amish said we need a new scheme plays for kickoff returns. I agree. And punt returns. We're near the bottom in both categories. And it's simple. Because they don't give us any, they don't kick the ball to us. Angie the Rebel Chicks. She said, oh wow, G is live. Yeah, I started this last Sunday, Angie. I'm gonna try to do this every Sunday if I can get up in time. I'm gonna try to next Sunday. My goal is to start it at 6 o'clock. I want to get 2 full hours in, so we're gonna do. My goal is to do 6 o'clock next Sunday morning. Next Sunday morning. John Jones, what up? What up, G Money? Hey, it's a New Jack City. Robert Thomas said replace Sanborn with James. Yeah, I'd like to see Shamar James too. I would too. All right, guys, it is 7:48. That hour went quick talking about the Cowboys. Again, my score. I'll see y'all today before the game. Hold on, let me go back. My score. Packers 17, Cowboys 31. Hey, let me tell y'all this. Let me close with this. I want y'all to think on this. Do y'all know all the pressure is on the Green Bay Packers? Does everybody realize all the pressure is on the Green Bay Packers? Do y'all realize that people have the Green Bay Packers in the top 5 of every power rank list? The Green Bay Packers, you heard the guy even from Green Bay talking about this is a championship defense, only for them to go out and get beat by the Cleveland Browns. They're 2-1. Do y'all realize all the pressure's on them? If anything, the Cowboys have an excuse. They're missing CeeDee Lamb. They're missing Tyler Booker. They're missing Cooper Beebe. I mean, when you think about the players the Cowboys are missing, and I'm not even going to mention guys like Overshown because they already haven't been here. But when you think about offensively, the defense was already kind of handicapped. But offensively, we're missing players. No one's giving us a chance. All the pressure's on the Green Bay Packers. Do y'all know the pressure is on Michael Parsons tonight to get a sack? What happens if Michael Parsons don't get a sack tonight? What happens? What happens if Michael Parsons don't get a sack? What happens if the Green Bay Packers get beat? What happened? They're 2-2. Everybody talking about it was a dumb move for the Cowboys to trade Michael Parsons. Well, what if they beat the Packers? What if they beat the Packers and go 2-2? And then the Packers are 2-2 with a quote-unquote Super Bowl team. I'm telling you right now, I've already said this and I'll say it again. For me, I'm just talking about for me. Matt LaFleur is fired this year if the Green Bay Packers don't win the Super Bowl. Matt LaFleur is fired. You can't give up 2 number 2s, Kenny Clark, get Michael Parsons, and don't go and win the Super Bowl. And at the very least, you have to get there. The NFC Championship game for me is not enough for what the Green Bay Packers have given up. The Cowboys, to me, are playing with house money. Now, I already told y'all, I've been telling y'all for a year now. I already thought the Cowboys were going to win the Super Bowl in 2026. I'm not ruling out this year. Anything could happen. But I think for sure, next year, Cowboys taking it. The Cowboys are going to have 1 year with this coaching staff. They're going to do even more, bigger and better things in free agency. The Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl, I believe, in 2026. I think they're going to flash this year. But as it applies to the Green Bay Packers, all the pressure is on them. All the pressure is on the Packers. Because nobody is giving the Cowboys a chance to win. All of the pressure is on the Packers. 7-point favorites on the road? They don't win this, everybody starts questioning the Green Bay Packers. Everybody's going to question the Green Bay Packers. I'm telling you, I have looked at this Green Bay schedule, and I am telling you, boy, I don't know why people think Green Bay about to run all up and through the NFC. Shoot, watch what the Cowboys do to them tonight. Watch what the Cowboys do to them tonight. They're gonna have some issues with the Cowboys tonight. They're not gonna run over the Cowboys the way people think. I'm telling you, they're not. I'm glad the Cowboys are gonna show up to the stadium tonight because I know people aren't giving them a chance, but the Cowboys are gonna show up to this stadium tonight, and I'm telling you, all the pressure's on Green Bay. Cowboys at home playing with house money, man. Don't nobody give the Cowboys a chance. The Big Robowski, he said, my 93 Madden on my Sega Genesis, as it should be so far, it'll be closer to 72-3. Yes, sir. But I tell you this, Big Robowski, you listen to people, it's going to be 72-3. Gold, I said, that's good because we know our own team don't have the pressure. I see you, Gold. Lil D-Tex, I said the same thing. I don't want no field goals from Brandon Aubrey. I want extra points. I want extra points. If the Cowboys can just score touchdowns every time you get the ball, long drives, get Green Bay behind the 8-ball, make this dude Jordan Love have to play quarterback. Get back to what you did against the Philadelphia Eagles. Stephen White said, I had Green Bay 40-26. He says, I can see the Cowboys winning 34-31. Yeah. Michael Smooth said, this may shock a lot of people. I don't think Green Bay making the playoffs. Michael Smooth, let me tell you something. It's going to be harder than people think. I'm telling you, bro, I've looked at their schedule. It's going to be harder than people think. I'm telling you. Matt LaFleur, no, he don't win a Super Bowl. He fired for me. Somebody getting fired. Somebody getting fired if you don't win a Super Bowl this year. Metris Adams, prophesy that thing, G. Hey, Metris, I'm going to speak it into existence. I'm going to speak it into existence. All right. It's time for me to go put on my super suit. Time to get the warship. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. I don't know what we're going to call this. We're going to come up with a name for the Sunday morning show. Big Mace. Big Mace said, man, I'll probably walk off whenever the defense gets on the field. I'm afraid to watch this defense. Big Mace, I'm excited. And Big Mace, the reason why I'm excited, I want to see all these changes. I want to see all this communication. I want to see all these adjustments. I want to see everything they've been talking about. Because if they do what they've been talking about, they're going to have a great chance of winning this thing tonight. Woo, Just Lee. Boy, let me tell you something. Did y'all hear what Kenny Clark said? His daughter loves Dallas. That weather, shoot, I don't care what nobody say. Troy Aikman said it best. Man, don't nobody get used to playing in no doggone cold. Don't nobody get used to that. Gady Dolly said, Big Ron, you got me. He said, just kidding around, bro. About the game tonight. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, we're going to be in this thing tonight. Y'all stay tuned. Y'all stay tuned. Robert Thomas, you have a great day, too. Y'all, too. Y'all have a great Sunday. And I'll see y'all again the day before the game. And then I'll see y'all after the game. Hey, Jakira, I hadn't heard. Which leads me to believe. I believe Jaden Blue is playing. All right, guys. I'll catch y'all before the game and after the game. Until the next time, DC4L, God bless. Let's talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Peace.